welcome to Olsem Wanem. I'm Deborah Pranis. It's not every day that you hear stories of people living with special needs. While most of them have been subjected to harassments and ridicule, others have untold success stories. In this story, our Kokopo-based journalist Edwin Fidelis tells the story of 10-year-old David Esra, who was born without arms. And since his early childhood, David has dedicated his 2 feet to do what an able-bodied person can do.
I'm walking or something where I'm sit as long.
He's a good boy.
So I'm born yet without arm. I'm using leg belonging or a man belonging.
He's a good boy. Crazy about Elvis, loves horses, and his girlfriend too.
It's 10 a.m. in the morning and I've come to the home of David Esra and his family at Nanga village on the outskirts of Kokopo town about 3 weeks ago. David was born without arms and for the last 7 years he's been using his 2 feet to do most of the things children at his age do. Since his early childhood, he has been taught by his family members to master the skills of how to use his feet, and after almost countless days of practices, this is what David can do.
Breaking his heart, and I'm free. Free
I've been born without arm. So I'm grow up kamantap. I'm been baby, nito look out in him. Become in school. Nito pa in something where nito pa looking mo by hat long him tasol. No hat long him. I'm walking or something where see tasol long him. So I'm born yet without arm. I'm using leg belong him or a man belong him. I'm school, I'm right, one time leg belong him. I'm kai, one time leg belong him. Olive spoon, one time leg belong him. I'm olive cup, tea, one time leg belong him. I'm brown, I'm looking at something. I'm only one time belong him. Suppose only one time belong him, I'm only one time leg belong him. So neck belong him, so I'll help him lo carry him something.
David's chances of using prosthetic arms may be over. Apart from walking, he uses his feet to draw, write his name, eat, pour himself a glass of water, and move objects from one place to another.
I've been carrying him, Ness been talking me, or saying baby blow you, I'm born without arm. So, because something we've been walking, we've been cry. Picking him been born, them no got. So all I kiss him, kasol me yet me been passing him. Like him, some sampla living, some old white man. So me been passing him. Me yet me ba look out him. So me look out him, now we big plan.
Welcome back. You're watching Olsem Wanem. We continue into the life of a 10-year-old little boy who was born without arms, but has overcome all obstacles that has come his way. Edwin Fidelis with more.
David is in grade 1 and like any other able-bodied children, he has higher hopes, and that is to complete his education and live a happy, normal life. David was born with a rare health condition that left him armless. According to health explanations, he may have suffered from a old arm syndrome, a syndrome that affects the skeletal development of his arms during his mother's pregnancy. It's a birth defect that happens in 1 out of every 1,000 births all over the world.
Been a long day, living in Reseda. There's a breeze.
David was camera shy when I asked him how he copes with his friends in school, but his mother said he's been behaving well and has so far been treated fairly by his schoolmates, regardless of him being armless.
Lo mi at lo em blong em to ko sem mi ba school go ina be bak si work em blong mi em ba mi come up lawyer. Amen. So lo mi tu play it now mi tu play work lo continue lo pray na school blong em this la em blong em. Was sem fit lo work this la work.
His mother told me he doesn't have a public profile, but wherever he goes, he has become an inspiration to many men, women and children, and that is not to take their abilities for granted.
Em kenopido one time lek blong em. So em pilai. Favorite pilai blong em soccer, race, and sa pilai long em. Or something where me to play look him to and isi long em lo walkie laos em can broom em can kati garas em can kati something on the night na em can make him plant something on the left long em school one time all normal pikinini em school one time all so me to play look him em school long em morai time em school one time normal pikinini school blong em right, em right good.
While David's story may not shed light into the much darker sides of people living with special needs, there are others whom their life is way different and much more difficult. Over the years, able-bodied people have become so complacent and largely ignorant to people living with disability, and to a larger extent, it forces their health conditions to deteriorate to a point where they are truly physically incapacitated.
After the break, we look back on one of our previous stories. We give you an insight to a man who was born blind, but is pretty much capable of carrying himself around just like anybody else. Welcome back as we take you into the life of Jerry Henson, a man who was born blind, but he is able to do almost anything. In a world filled with constant changing technology, Jerry has not fallen behind. He knows how to use a computer, surf the internet, and he even has a Facebook account. Port Moresby, the capital city of Papua New Guinea, is the busiest city in the country. Every day you find cars flooding the streets, traffic jams, and people constantly moving back and forth. For those of us who are able to see, imagine being blind and the whole world goes black. Would you be able to find your own way around the city? Here is the story of a man who was born blind, but despite his disability, he's been able to move around in the city all by himself.
My name is Jerry Henson, and I'm from the East Sepik province. I was being blind since birth till now. Well, being blind and living in a city where there is no accessibility, it's it's very, very challenging, and there is like everyday challenges, strategies or possibilities on how I overcome challenges. And some of the challenges that I face is when walking around to try and move to cope up with the ordinary or any other human being or any other people who are working who are trying to move around and do everyday things in their life, like what they do in life. The challenges that I face is like getting on the bus, even going across pedestrian crossings where there is no even alarms and all that. Like I got on the right bus because there's the signs that I normally identified or know that I'm getting on the right bus is, by listening to the cruise of the bus. And they say where they give the destination of where they are going. And then I know, this bus is going this way and this bus is going this way. And then I got on the right bus, which, right bus to go to where I want to go to. And at the same time, like, during my normal routine, like people give me numbers of bus that are going to different, routes. And then if they don't talk, and then I ask anybody around, or even someone who's beside me, that what's this bus number? And then they give the bus number. I was born in, grew up in Sipik, and then been to school in Goroka. I grew up in Goroka, Chimbu, Juwaka, and then most of my life I lived in Goroka. Then after graduating from the secondary school, I came to Port Moresby to do my study in UPNG. I was studying law at the university, and I haven't completed my course, just because the environment was not been disabled friendly, and also the accessibility to educations, like I did not have appropriate resources like books. A lot of textbooks were not been put into braille or were not been electronically distributed to me, and also there wasn't any special skill teacher. So that was a real barrier that or challenges which I have overcome in life. But despite all those challenges, and even despite being blind, even I make it through, or almost complete my course then. But I gave up. Yeah.
Despite dropping out of school, Jerry has not completely given up on everything in life.
When I started training myself how to use computer, it took me like 2 to 3 months to be familiar with all the keys, and then I was like to type things on the computer. And the most important thing that really motivated me to learn how to use computer was, like, I've been hearing from all my friends that they have access to internet, and even they could download information and music and other stuff, and even send emails to people, and it was much more faster than what we used to do, like sending letters and all that stuff. And even other people from the other parts of the world or in PNG, they can even respond within 5 to 10 minutes, and that's what I heard from my people, and that really motivated me to be to be competent in issuing computers.
Do you have an email address?
I do have my email address, and I do have a Facebook page, and I've got my own web page right now.
Being visually impaired, people may wonder, how do you go about accessing your email and your messages in your Facebook account? How do you do that?
Well, I just go around, and if there's a software program where it's called a JAWS program, JAWS, and JAWS, it's a program that's especially been designed for people with visual impairment, and it dictates to a person with visual impairment, and even it reads what's on the screen, and even it gives indications, and it gives directions as to like how people get into go online, and also it reads emails, and even it gives like directions to where the letters is, or even it tells us what letters that I'm typing, and then even it can read word by word, and even if there's mistakes, it could even also tell us this is a mistake, and then we go erase it and then start correcting the mistake and do it properly.
Can you please give us a small demo on how you go about using a computer?
Oh yes, of course, yeah. Like I can even go and write my name.
Okay. Jerry Hansen was born blind, but not once has he let his disability stop him from doing anything in life. According to Jerry, of all things, our ignorance is his disability.
The rights of persons with disability and the challenges that we, persons with disability, face, every day. The government has already they have already ratified the Disability Convention, or the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And the Disability Convention is one of the human rights treaties. And we've got the 8 principles. And some of those principles talks about the actual dignity of persons with disability, and even like the actual human rights is just the same like any other human rights treaties, like the Child Rights Convention, the Convention on the Rights of CEDAW, and others. We, as persons with disability, we've got our own ways of facing challenges, especially when having access to our public services. Lack of accessibility, and even most times, especially for me, my rights are denied by the securities, and also when having access to public services like banks. Actually, some ATM machines are not designed in Braille. The post office boxes, when trying to put, open the post office box, it has to be designed in Braille, where I have to fill actually like a Braille writing, where it has my names. Those are the types of those are the challenges that we face when having access to public services. Well, for myself, like how I treated this, I think I'm enough. But I want to see my fellow disabled people to be, to be empowered, and also, to be treated and respected with dignity like any other citizens here. I'm just like anybody else. And one thing that really, like put me down and really, make me, feel down is like, it's when I am ignored by people. And I say, like, my motto is like, people's ignorance or your ignorance is my disability. That's what I say, yeah.
And that's all for this episode. If you have any comments or stories you would like to share, please send us a message via the email address showing on your screen or visit us on our Facebook page. From the Olsem Wanem team, have a pleasant viewing and we'll see you again next week.